welcome to the Wealth Doctor TV. If this is your first time on my channel, please click the subscribe button below to become part of the family. And if you are a returning subscriber, thank you so much for your love and your support. So today we are on episode 6 of the investment series special. So if you don't know what the investment series special is, on my channel, I post videos every Monday and Thursday, and every Monday is money related conversations, and then every Thursday is anything that can contribute into you evolving into the best version of yourself. But on this special investment series, I'm going to be posting every Monday and Thursday about investment education, and for the coming plus or minus 10 weeks. So you might be asking yourself, but why are you investing so much time in explaining how investments work? It's because investments play a very huge role in your wealth creation process. So it's very important for you to understand what they are, how they work, so that you can be able to make the right decisions when coming to your money and your wealth creation process. So today we are on episode 6, and we'll be talking about investing in property. Now, I know that South Africans love shares and property. So I got you, my South Africans. I am here for you. I'm here to give you the content that you want. I'm here to give you the content that you love. So let's get right into the video. Like I said, today's video is about investing in property. So I'm going to start by explaining what property is to you. So property is not only a building. What property is that is the land. It can be a land like a plain field, or it can be the land and a building, the building on top of the land. So property is not only limited to a structure, but it's also the land that is on the structure. I mean, the land that the structure is on. Wow. And it can also be just a plain field of land. It's also considered as property. Please know that I am not a property guru. However, because I am the plug, I'll plug you with my property people. I'm going to leave their Instagram handles down, their Instagram links down below, so that you can go follow them, and then so that you can learn more about property investing. I'm just going to give you the basics, and then if you need things to be explained in more detail, then you can go check them out and maybe DM them if you have any questions for them. So my first plug is at the property chick. She's like my Instagram bestie. And then the second one is at Ntombela, I think. Might be wrong, but I'll link his Instagram below, and I'll also write it somewhere here so that you can go follow them and learn more about them. And then at Ntombela, that's if I'm saying it correct, also has a YouTube channel where he shares educational content about property. So if you're interested, I'm also going to leave the link to his channel below. So I'll leave 2 Instagram handles and 1 YouTube channel link. Because why? I'm plugging you. I'm not a guru. I'm just here to give you the basics, because I only know the basics. I didn't study property in depth. Anyway, let's get into the video. So now I know from the title of the video, you saw that I wrote that how can you invest in property with 1 rand or even less than 1 rand. Did you even know that you could do that? But anyway, let's get right into the video. Before I share how you can invest in property with 1 rand, let's start with the expensive things, and then we'll move to the 1 rand's way. So the first way you can buy a property or you can invest in a property is by you using the traditional method. So the traditional method is pretty much you just going to buy a building. It can be a block of flats, it can be a student accommodation, it can be a shop, whatever, and renting it out to people, and they pay you rent, and then you make money through rent. So it has its advantages and its disadvantages. So the advantages of you buying property the traditional way is, firstly, you get to get ownership of the property. You get to become the owner of the property. The second point is your property has the potential of appreciating in value. And the reason why I'm saying potential is because it's not always guaranteed, and there's a number of factors that contribute into the appreciation of your property value, of which one of them, which is a major one, is the area where you invested in. So if you invested in a good area that is going to later develop, it means that it's going to contribute into your property appreciating in value, because the area where you would have bought your property at would have been an attractive area. But if you're going to be buying your property in an area whereby the value is, it's going to make the value of your property depreciate, then it means you won't be benefiting from a capital growth. And then the second advantage of you buying a property the traditional way is you get to receive rental income. So who doesn't like receiving income? So the third advantage of you buying property the traditional way is that you can use debt to fund the property. So you don't have to use your own money to buy the property. However, with debt, you need to make sure that you have a good credit score and you need to have a deposit with you, because you're not just gonna get like 100% value of the property as a loan. You need to have a deposit and your credit score needs to be good, because if it's not good, the bank is going to charge you a high interest rate. The disadvantages of you investing in property the traditional way is that, first of all, it's a lot of work. You need to manage your property. You need to make sure that everything is okay and that your tenants are comfortable in your property. So if something breaks, it's your responsibility. If a tenant doesn't pay you, it's your responsibility to deal with that. So it requires a lot of management, and it needs you to be like fully involved in the management of the company, which can be a lot of work, especially if you have other things to do. You can alternatively get a property manager, but that is also going to cost you money. It's not free. So those are the disadvantages of buying property the traditional way. And if you do not have a good credit score, it means that you're going to end up paying more in interest that is going to eat away your money. And also, if you do not have a deposit saved up, what's going to happen, baby? And then the second way that you can invest in property is by you flipping properties. So what flipping properties is you buy a property at a lower value. Normally the property will need a bit of revamping and renovating. So you buy a property at below market value, and then you fix it up. You fix maybe the walls, whatever. And then after that, you sell it at a higher price. So then if you are flipping property, you need to consider the cost, like the amount of money that you bought the property at. You need to consider the cost of your renovations and you revamping the property. And then after that, you need to make sure that the amount of money that you use to sell is higher than the cost of you buying the property and you revamping the property. So now the disadvantages of firstly, the advantages is you can buy it at a lower price and sell it at a very high price and make a profit and childish money. And obviously profit on a property is not going to be 100 rands. It can come in thousands and hundreds of thousands, which is good on your side if all things go well. But the disadvantage of you flipping property is, what if you buy this, you revamp it, of which you're going to spend your own money to revamp it. You spent your money to buy the property, and then later on, nobody is attracted to your property and nobody wants to buy your property. Or maybe the area that you bought it at was attractive at the time that you bought it, but then as you are done with your renovation, now the area becomes unattractive, and then nobody's willing to buy, or they want to buy for an amount that is lesser than what you are offering. It means then you're not going to make your returns. So if you are considering flipping property, I'd rather suggest that you work with someone who's a professional and they know how it works, so that they can assist you, especially if you're still an amateur, because it's not cheap to flip property and you don't have money to be gambling with, especially if you don't have experience. So another way which you can invest in property at a slightly high price, but not really, is you can buy a property unit trust. So we know that there's a minimum requirement when buying a unit trust. If you don't know what a unit trust is, I did a video where I explained exchange traded funds, a unit trust. I'll link it somewhere below, then you can go watch it and understand what a unit trust is. Then when you understand, you can come back to this video so that you can know what's happening. So you can buy yourself a property unit trust. So you can decide that you're going to put 500 rands every single month, or you're going to pay 10,000 rand once off. So a good thing about a property unit trust is that it's going to pay you dividends, right? So you're going to be receiving dividends, and your unit trust can also grow in value depending on the asset manager's performance, or the performance of the property unit trust that you bought. So those are the ways where you can buy property at a high price, and maybe the unit trust is not really a high price. But yeah, that is the first part of the video. Now moving to the good things, because I know you want to know how to buy property for 1 rand or less. So we're moving on to those 3 methods in which you can use. So the first one is you can buy a real estate investment trust, or a REIT, or a REIT. I don't know how it's pronounced, but Oksalayo, it's a real estate investment trust. So what a real estate investment trust is a company which invests in commercial properties like your malls, and then after investing, they issue their shares to the public, and then they sell them at a certain price per share. So normally there are some REITs that go for like 10 rands, and then like I told you that on Easy Equities you are able to buy a portion of a share. Let's say, for example, 1 share is 10 rands and you cannot afford to pay 10 rands, and you want to buy it for 5 rands, or for 2 rands, or for 1 rand, you can decide to buy a portion of that share using Easy Equities. I'm not sure if you can be able to do that with other stockbrokers, but on Easy Equities I definitely know that you are able to buy a portion of the shares of a share if you cannot afford to buy the full share. So that's the first way you can invest in property, using as little as 1 rand or even less, depending on how much you want to contribute. And the advantages of you investing in a REIT is you don't have to worry about the management, you don't have to worry about finding tenants, you don't have to worry about maintaining the buildings. You are just putting your money there, and your money is just going to work for you. And then at the end of the period, when the returns are coming, which is your rental income, they're going to deduct the expenses, and after that distribute the money that is made from those properties to the investors. So with REITs, your dividends are guaranteed, because REITs are required to pay a minimum of 90% of the profits that they make from renting out the commercial properties. So with REITs, you know that you're definitely going to receive money, and also you don't have to stress about managing it and dealing with difficult tenants, because the companies that distributed the shares are the ones that are doing all of the work for you. And then the second way you can invest in property for 1 rand or even less is by you buying an exchange traded fund, a property exchange traded fund, and you can buy it from a stockbroker as well. And Easy Equities is one of the stockbrokers that I said again that you can buy a portion of a share. So maybe if an ETF for a certain property ETF is worth like 5 rands a share, then if you do not afford the 5 rands, you can decide to put 1 rand. Why? Because Easy Equities allows you to buy a portion of a share. So that is another way that you can invest in property for 1 rand or even less. And the good thing about you acquiring a property ETF is that it does not only include one company inside the ETF. There's a variety of property companies inside, and that is a very good way to diversify your property portfolio at 1 rand or less. And then moving on to the third and the last way, which is something that Easy Equities again just introduced last year, is you buying property through Easy Properties. And like the word Easy Properties, it means it's supposed to make buying properties easy for you. So how it works is when there's a building available, they will do an IPO. IPO is a public offering. They will do a public offering of that building. They're going to show you the building, and then they're going to tell you the costs that are involved in you investing in that building. And then for example, let's say maybe they put a building that is worth 1 million rands, and they decide to issue 1 million shares at 1 rand per share, then it means you are able to enjoy the benefits of owning a property at only 1 rand. And obviously, if it's 1 rand, doesn't mean you have to only buy 1 share. You can buy as much as you want, but it starts at 1 rand. And I am also a property owner through Easy Equities. I bought the Rockefeller. It's in Cape Town, and it was going for 1 rand per share, and I think I bought 320 something shares. So how you make money from Easy Properties is that your shares, your building will accumulate, you will appreciate in value. And when your building appreciates in value, it means your share price goes up. So if your share price moves from 1 rand to 2 rands and you bought 320 shares, it means now the value of your properties is 640 rands. Yes, 640 rands, and it means you made yourself 2 times the amount of money that you invested. And another benefit of investing in property using Easy Properties is that you get dividends quarterly. So how they distribute the dividends is when the tenants or the people who are renting the property that you bought pay rent, they're going to deduct all of the expenses, and the profit they distributed to all of the shareholders according to the number of shares that they distributed on that particular property. So with Easy Property, it's definitely 1 rand. So those are the 3 ways in which you can buy property for 1 rand or even less. So you don't have excuses. You can't tell me that you're broke and you can afford to buy a property. A property is 1 rand on Easy Equities. So that was the video for today, and I really hope that you enjoyed this video. And don't forget to like, comment, and share, guys, because I'm sure you don't want to be a property owner alone when you're leaving your friends and your family behind. So share this video with them as well, so that they can also buy their properties at 1 rand or even less. I hope you enjoyed the video, and don't forget to go follow at the Property Chick and at I am Ntombela. I'll link their Instagrams below, and you will check them out. And I'll also link I am Ntombela's YouTube link, so that you can go and check his property education videos. Like I said, I'm not a property guru. I was just sharing the basics and what I know. But if you need more details, definitely go follow those people, and you can pop them a DM if you have any questions. Thank you so much for tuning in. Till I see you next time. I'm back. Don't forget to go follow me on Instagram. It's at The Wealth Doctor and at Evolve with Letty J. Okay, now the video is finally over, and I'll see you guys next time. Hey.